So I know I promised you guys a snowboarding video and some snowboarding photography, but when we went out to do the photography, we captured the photography, but when we transferred the data for the video, it didn't come out. So instead, I found this book at my local Indigo, and I searched through the photography books every so often to see if anything's there that will pop out, speak to me, and this one did. And I don't know why at first. I do after I look through it. Don't know why it spoke to me, but it did. And all I saw was the binding, just Liam Wong, Tokyo. And as I read the book, I found out why I liked it without even knowing why I liked it. So Liam Wong is actually a partial creator of Far Cry 4, amongst other games, his own games. He went to Tokyo first time and just had a little point and shoot that he took with him, and he captured it, but the city enthralled him like it does so many others to come back. And when he came back with a DSLR 5D Mark III, and these are the images that he captured and that he recalled. I have roughly marked 12 photos that talk to me, but this book has a massive Blade Runner and cyberpunk vibe in my opinion, but to each their own. I do recommend that if you like anime, Japan, Akira, all of those things, and you're a photographer, you pick up his book for inspiration, because the way that he saturates the colors in this is something else. So let's jump into this. So this photo right here, it's washed in this teal and pink with orange in it. It gives me immense Blade Runner vibes, and the leading lines that pull into the center plane right here, I don't know if that's what he was going for in this photo, but that's exactly what my eyes are drawn to. And if you look at the sides, it almost looks as if though there's movement in the lights, but there's not. It's stationary, and it's just reflections with the pink and the orange and the teal along the walls. And then you have that big building in the back that's just solid soft blue, like a baby's blue. To me, this is a gorgeous shot. Like I said, representation of Blade Runner and also cyberpunk. Let's get on to the next one. So this one is stark in comparison for color, but it just has minute pops. So again, you have the teal color, almost like Tiffany blue, and then you have this soul lantern with the kanji on it, just illuminating this small little part. I don't know if he was going for the golden ratio, but my eyes want to swoop this way and kind of pull into this little area right here. The soul silhouette inside this, I would call it a back alley, I'm going to assume, but it also looks kind of like an entranceway to somewhere. To me, very, very cool. Almost has Akira type vibes, like just that dark, ominous, kind of retro, I don't know, Neo Tokyo, as they would call it. But yeah, this one also jumped out at me. The third shot is, it's just vibrant, but dark at the same time. You have all this ominous black and that, and then in contrast you have these pops of pink with the cherry blossom sakuras, and then you have the Chinese or Japanese lanterns with the kanji on them, and then you have the leading lines that come from here and go into this focal point, again with the soul silhouette just sitting there. I honestly would like to know what his thoughts were when he was taking this one. It's a beautiful shot, and just if you look at the center of it, it kind of brings a thought of just thought, like standing there and thinking. You're in deep self, you're contemplating something, and it has a subtlety and a softness in it. And it just, like I said, this one just popped out at me and spoke to me, so I had to mark it. This just has straight Neo Tokyo written all over it. The young soul person in between these doors. This one open, leading somewhere. Also has a security camera, so kind of looks like a unwanted area to be in. A very not loathsome, but a very, I don't know how to explain it, but laudable place. Like you wouldn't really want to be caught there by yourself in this area. But again, heralding back to the cover of this book, we have the light blue and then the pink red pop. You'll notice throughout most of this book, well, most of what I show you, that this is a common theme, but he actually has different colors in some of these shots. Again, I say if you really like photography and you want some really cool inspiration for maybe going out into your own city and doing something similar, I wouldn't say take the guy's blues and pinks things, but maybe you could do different colors like oranges or something and really bring the vibrancy out and make them pop from your city. He's masked up, so I don't know exactly when this was took, but this just has a very gangster feel to it, very Neo Tokyo, like very cyberpunk 2022. This one is very, very, to me, if you cover this up, you have technology, you have the pink lighting, and then you have the reflections and the power conduits. Very, like, it lures you into that in the new age with what's going on here. Then if you cover this side, you have this dark silhouette of I would say a house or a store right here, but then you have the gate on there for almost like an old Buddhist style leading into the new generation. So you have the old, and then you have the new. And then again, when you look at it in the way he's colored it, is it's blue and it's pink. But he also has leading lines right into this sign right dead center. So that's what I got from this shot that he pulled. And I think by far this one would be my favorite, just the way it almost has, like if you watch Bleach, almost has that gate feel where they go into the alternate universe. Not universe, but if you watch Bleach, you know what I mean. On to the next one. So this, I enjoyed this one just because it was the Sega building, and they just recently closed the Sega building down, and the fact that he was able to capture this with the life that's going on, and gamers usually stay up, like they're usually gaming all hours and late nowadays because everything's online, but back in the day the arcades is where everybody gathered. They went to play. Sega was a big name for Sonic the Hedgehog and much other titles that they created. But there's just a subtle hint of blue all around, but he keeps a nice orange pop while I'm assuming looking through a window. I didn't read it, but this is in Akihabara in Japan, and I think it's a very stunning shot. It has the train going across the tracks. It just shows the vibrancy and the emotion that's going on in the middle of the night in Tokyo, when you would think a city would be sleeping and people wouldn't be out and about bustling. I don't know what time it was, but you wouldn't think that it would be this lively. So this one is just the desolation in a back alley. So in comparison to what you just saw with everybody being in a hurry and moving and lively, you go down this back alley and it's stark, it's gritty, it's decaying, and he has this, just the subtle pink going here, and then it's all the blue and all that. It just goes to show what's in the underbelly of cities that you don't go around looking for and you don't see on average. When you watch YouTube videos, are always portraying the like nice storefronts and these beautiful gardens and all that, when in actuality this exists too. And to me, this is actually pretty potent in how it shows how humans just take and do for themselves. Like we have all these, I think, air conditioning units and heater units and wires and all that. So the consumption that's going on in here without anybody actually being in the picture is pretty powerful in the way you look at it and how tightly packed this city is, and with all of the units, I'm assuming, feeding houses and apartments that are all in this location. So again, another one of the shots that I liked. So this just reminded me straight out of animes, because you usually have someone sitting on the edge looking out over Tokyo and being a very ominous figure on the Tokyo Tower, and the way that the city just goes around it and then the tower itself is offset, kind of is, it just reminds me of manga and anime, the way that he took it. He was probably in another building with a long focal length, but again, it's to me, a very good shot. I don't know if you guys will agree, but I actually believe that this was a fairly done spread. So like I said, he doesn't always do the pink and the blue and all that, and he kind of went with this this sepia tone with this police car just going down the alleyway, and it kind of gives the impression that they're driving slow and they're looking for someone, or they're patrolling a high-end area for officials and protecting them, but with the car in the background, it kind of looks like it's sitting and waiting for them to leave so they can do something. This is what my imagination is cooking up as it sees this photo, but I actually liked the warm hues that this provided, and then just the pop of the red, but he turned it to an orange kind of hue. So this I just enjoyed because you had the power going in, then you had the security light here, and then this monkey around this emblem. But if you've ever watched the movie Priests, this kind of looks like the tattoo that they have on their forehead, and this kind of gives presence to an elite club that you would have to be marked in order to get entrance into this club, and it has a very video game, very dark side kind of feel to it, and it just drew me in as soon as I saw it, and how it's just cut out of these bricks like so, and then it has a nice wood behind it. So you have the stark contrast of the cold bricks, the concrete, the lifeless material, and then you get into the interior, and then you have this nice wood grain with this vibrant light that is technically like breathing with the neon that's flowing through it, and it gives it a nice ambient warm feeling to it. So I'm assuming he did a lot of photos because this is the same shot, but as you can see, he's taking away these shots and he's showing that he's actually got thought provocation behind the way that he's composing his shots. So this one's got the lone character with the umbrella. I liked it. It had good balance and rhythm to him, but he didn't, it seems like he didn't choose this one. And then you go into this one, and then it's an isolated figure, and he's very calculated on the way that he's doing this. So this same girl is just a little bit further ahead and over a bit, whereas this person is more towards the lens of the camera and blocking most of this middle part. Then he goes into this one, and this screen is giving too much light off, and it's distracting from the rest of the photo, I'm assuming. Go into this one, and he's just saying there's way too many bodies of people obstructing the view of his shot. Then here, I would assume the same thing. It's too bright, too many people dead center. This guy's just the one figure. And then over. But then you get into the very, very first one, and you can see these lines. So you got the teal, and you got the pink split up the middle, and then the weight of the photo is the people on the right hand side, and then the emptiness on the left hand side. So it creates almost a good cohesive balance between, if you're looking at the grid lines of the thirds, they're all in the bottom right 2/3. Then this photo just was something different that he created. And it's very gritty, very rich in the way that he colored, but you can see the fog, well, I wouldn't say fog, but the pollution that is sitting over top of the city. And there might be clouds and fog in there, but he mirrored the exact same thing but flipped it so that you have the city on both top and bottom creating an equal photo, and your eye is kind of just appeased by that. I'm gonna assume he took panoramic shots and stitched them all together. He made a panoramic shot, and stitched a whole bunch, like 4 shots together in order to create this one. And then, like I said, just mirrored it on top and rotated it. To me, this is a very Godzilla, atom bomb, end of Earth type vibe that I get from this photo. And it just, again, it spoke to me. Don't mind the bell and the crackling. My dog and cat are running around and coming down because I'm no longer upstairs. So yeah, as I said, if you enjoy Tokyo, you enjoy Japan, you will get good ideas for shooting your own photography using a similar style to what Liam Wong did. So you, like I said, you can take the colors and the neons in your own city and you can create a similar effect. But if you need ideas, I suggest this book by Liam Wong, and it's called Tokyo. So that's my book review, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for sticking around. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified when I drop the next video, and grab a grip and click. Cheers, guys.
Never hit the brakes, no comma. I got a goal, I gotta get. I'm on my way to get the full power. Won the game, first place, MVP, I say GG. And even if you still don't get it, just wait, I'm about to go like bigger, bolder, faster. I'm going to the maximum. I'm going to the maximum. I'm going to the maximum. I'm bigger, bolder, faster. I'm going to the maximum. I'm going to the maximum. I'm going to the maximum. I'm bigger, bolder, faster.